Did you know that some foods you lovingly tuck away in your fridge could quietly be turning toxic? It sounds surprising, doesn't it? After all, we've been taught for years that the fridge is the safest spot for our groceries and leftovers. But as we get a little older, our bodies can be more sensitive, and what seems safe might actually be harming our health, even raising our risk of digestive issues, nerve damage, or worse. In this video, I'll reveal 7 common foods you should never refrigerate and why. Stick with me, because knowing this could transform your kitchen choices and bring you real peace of mind. Number 1. Potatoes turn toxic in the cold. Many people think keeping potatoes in the fridge helps them last longer. It sounds logical, right? But in truth, that cold temperature causes the starches in potatoes to turn into sugar much faster. And when you cook those cold-stored potatoes, whether you're baking, roasting, or frying them, that extra sugar reacts with natural amino acids, forming a compound called acrylamide. This chemical has been linked to nerve damage and, over time, may even increase cancer risk. For older adults, this matters even more. Our bodies don't process such compounds as efficiently as they used to, making us more vulnerable to their effects. Plus, cold-stored potatoes often taste strangely sweet and lose their fluffy texture. The simple solution? Keep your potatoes in a cool, dark, and dry place. Not the fridge. That's exactly what Arthur, 77, did. And he said not only did his famous hash browns taste better again, but he felt peace of mind knowing he wasn't unknowingly adding something harmful to his plate. So, what's the simple, free, and easy solution? If your potatoes are currently chilling in the fridge, take them out. Instead, try moving them to a breathable basket or a paper bag in a dark, cool cupboard or pantry. Keep them away from direct sunlight, which can make them sprout. It's a tiny little shift in your routine, but trust me, it's one of those practical steps that can make a huge difference in your daily health, helping you enjoy your meals with confidence and truly protecting your body from unexpected risks. Potatoes are a fantastic, nutritious food, and by storing them correctly, you ensure they remain that way. If you're finding these insights valuable so far, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. What's one food you thought belonged in the fridge? Number 2. Onions lose their flavor and attract mold. Let's move on to number 2. Onions. This is another staple many folks mistakenly refrigerate. At first glance, keeping onions in the fridge might seem like a smart move to prevent them from sprouting on the counter or going soft, but what actually happens is quite the opposite, and it can lead to both a culinary letdown and a potential health risk. The cold, damp environment inside your refrigerator is simply not a friend to the humble onion. It actively breaks down the onion's natural cell structure, turning those wonderfully crisp, pungent layers soft, soggy, and often quite flavorless within just a few days. That signature snap you expect when you cut into a fresh onion? It quickly turns to mush. And for our bodies as we age, we often find our immune systems can be a little less robust, meaning we need to be extra cautious about what we consume. Here's where the real problem starts. When onions are chilled, their natural sugars begin to seep out and collect on the surface. This sticky moisture creates the perfect breeding ground for mold and bacteria, especially if the onion skin has even the smallest nick or bruise. You know that feeling when you're preparing a meal, you grab an onion from the fridge, and you just get that whiff of something off? Or you cut into it, and instead of crisp layers, you find them slimy, or worse, with telltale black or green mold growing in the inner layers? That's a clear sign the food is no longer safe to eat. Consuming moldy onions can lead to a very uncomfortable stomach upset, or even more serious foodborne illnesses that we absolutely want to avoid in our golden years. I remember my patient Eleanor, a sprightly 81-year-old. She was always so diligent in her kitchen. Eleanor always kept any half-used onions in her fridge, carefully wrapped in plastic, thinking she was doing the right thing. But she started noticing that these leftover onions seemed to go bad remarkably quickly, and sometimes smelled odd, even when they looked perfectly fine on the outside. She was often frustrated, tossing out perfectly good-looking food. I suggested a small change. Ditch the fridge for whole or half onions. Instead, store them in a mesh bag in her pantry. Eleanor decided to try it, and she was amazed. She found they lasted much longer, staying firm and pungent, and tasted so much better in her favorite soups and stews. She told me she felt more confident knowing she was keeping her meals safe and delicious, and she was throwing out far less food, which was a bonus for her budget too. So, if you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do, and turn on that bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Your support helps us keep creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. The simple, free solution is this. Keep your whole onions out of the refrigerator. Store them in a cool, dry, dark place with good air circulation, like a mesh bag in your pantry or a basket in a well-ventilated cupboard. This simple swap will save you from spoiled food, protect your sensitive system from unwanted bacteria, and keep that wonderful, vibrant onion flavor right where it belongs, in your cooking. Number 3. Garlic sprouts and grows mold faster. Garlic. Garlic. A true pantry staple, the backbone of so many delicious meals. But here's another secret from the kitchen that many folks miss. Garlic should never, ever see the inside of your refrigerator. You see, many people, again with the best intentions, hope to preserve garlic's potent freshness by popping whole bulbs or loose cloves into the fridge. But the cold, humid environment that our refrigerators create actually encourages garlic to do something quite unwelcome. Sprout. You'll start to see long green shoots emerge within days, and those shoots drain away garlic's signature sharp, pungent flavor, leaving the cloves soft, rubbery, and incredibly disappointing. Sprouted garlic isn't just less tasty. It often becomes quite bitter, which can really throw off the balance of your favorite dishes and make your meals less enjoyable. Many people don't realize that storing garlic in the refrigerator can actually do more harm than good. The constant moisture inside the fridge seeps into the garlic's thin, papery layers, creating the perfect environment for mold growth. What's tricky is that moldy garlic doesn't always show on the outside. It can hide between the cloves, only revealing itself when you break it open to find blue or green spots inside. For older adults, this matters even more. Our digestive systems tend to be more sensitive, and eating even slightly moldy garlic can lead to stomach upset or discomfort. And besides the health concern, it's simply wasteful when an entire bulb goes bad before you can enjoy it. Take Walter, for example, a lively 75-year-old who loved cooking Italian dishes packed with garlic flavor. He used to keep his garlic bulbs at the back of his fridge, thinking it was the safest place. But soon, he noticed green shoots sprouting and a musty odor spreading through his fridge. Most of his garlic turned soft and unusable. After we talked, Walter switched to storing his garlic in a small wire basket on his kitchen counter, in a cool, dry spot away from sunlight. The result was night and day. His garlic stayed fresh, firm, and aromatic for weeks. His dishes tasted brighter, and he couldn't believe such a small change made such a big difference. So, to keep your garlic fresher, safer, and bursting with that wonderful flavor, here's the simple solution. Store it in a dry, well-ventilated area at room temperature. A mesh bag, a small basket, or even just a breathable bowl on your counter or in your pantry will do the trick. By making this small, effortless change, you can enjoy the full flavor and all the health benefits that garlic has to offer in every dish, without risking mold, bitterness, or the frustration of wasted money. These small adjustments in how you store everyday foods really do add up, helping to protect your health and making your kitchen routine much easier and more enjoyable. Number 4. Bread becomes stale and grows mold quickly. Let's move to number 4. Bread. Oh, bread. It is one of those foods many of us instinctively pop into the fridge without a second thought, especially when we're hoping to make it last longer. It seems so logical, doesn't it? The cold should keep bread fresh, right? But here's a surprising truth that many people miss, one that I've seen frustrate countless seniors trying to stretch their grocery budget. Refrigeration actually has the exact opposite effect on your loaf. When bread is stored in the fridge, something scientific and rather unwelcome happens. The starch molecules in the bread begin to crystallize much, much faster than they do at room temperature. This process, which scientists call retrogradation, makes bread turn stale and dry within just a day or two, even if it's sealed tightly in plastic. You know that feeling when you reach for a slice of bread for your toast or sandwich, and it's gone from wonderfully soft and fluffy to hard and crumbly almost overnight? That's your fridge at work, stealing that fresh-baked goodness. In addition to becoming stale, bread stored in the refrigerator is also more likely to develop mold. The cool, moist environment inside the fridge, believe it or not, actually encourages those pesky mold spores to grow. This is especially true if you're enjoying delicious homemade bread, or if your store-bought loaf doesn't contain a lot of preservatives. For us seniors, who are often trying to be mindful of our grocery budget and avoid unnecessary waste, finding an entire loaf ruined by staleness or fuzzy green mold by midweek can be incredibly frustrating. It's money down the drain and a perfectly good meal missed. I remember my dear patient, Dorothy, 84 years old, who, for years, always refrigerated her bread after every shopping trip. She was convinced it was the right way to keep it fresh, but she constantly complained to me, "Doc, my bread just doesn't last. It goes from soft and fluffy to hard and crumbly almost instantly. And sometimes, I even spot fuzzy green mold between the slices before I can finish it." She felt so wasteful. After learning more about the simple science behind bread storage, Dorothy made a change. She switched to keeping her bread in a traditional bread box on her counter. For any extra loaves or slices she knew she wouldn't eat within a few days, she started using her freezer, thawing slices as needed. She was thrilled. Her sandwiches tasted so much fresher, she wasted far less food, saving both money and hassle. It was a simple shift that brought her so much peace of mind and more enjoyment from her meals. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward with the solution. For the best results, store bread at room temperature. A bread box, a simple paper bag, or even just a sealed plastic bag on your kitchen counter is usually sufficient. And here is a great tip. If you know you won't eat an entire loaf within about 3 days, don't hesitate to freeze it. You can simply thaw slices as needed. These small adjustments help you enjoy every single bite of your bread, keeping it fresh and delicious, while also keeping your kitchen and your body safer from unnecessary waste and potential mold. Number 5. Tomatoes lose flavor and texture. Next up, at number 5, we're talking about tomatoes. Oh, those beautiful, juicy, vibrant tomatoes. They're an absolute kitchen staple, adding so much flavor and color to our meals. But here's a secret that might shock you. Putting them in the refrigerator can actually ruin both their incredible taste and their lovely texture. When tomatoes are kept at cold temperatures, something quite sad happens. They lose their natural juiciness, that wonderful burst of flavor, and instead, they become mealy, with a grainy texture that's anything but appealing. The cold literally stops the natural ripening process, which means even those perfectly ripe tomatoes you bought from the farmer's market or picked from your garden will turn dull and bland after just a few days in the fridge. The enzymes, those tiny little workers responsible for creating their rich, sweet flavor, are essentially put to sleep by the cold. Let's talk about tomatoes, those bright, juicy jewels of summer that can turn any simple meal into something special. But here, as a mistake many of us make without realizing it, we pop them straight into the fridge, thinking the cold will help them stay fresh longer. Unfortunately, that freshness trick comes with a hidden cost. You see, the chilly air inside your refrigerator damages the tomatoes' delicate cell walls. On the outside, they might still look perfect, smooth, red, and healthy. But once you slice into them, the flavor is gone. They taste flat, watery, and bland. Even worse, the texture turns soft and mushy, instead of that firm, juicy bite we love. For those of us who grew up savoring the rich, sun-kissed flavor of a perfectly ripe tomato, that's a real disappointment. I think of Susan, a wonderful 79-year-old who took so much pride in her garden. Her backyard tomatoes were legendary, sweet, vibrant, and the star of her famous BLT sandwiches. Wanting to make her harvest last longer, she began storing the extras in the fridge. But soon, she noticed something was missing. The flavor she loved, the one that reminded her of summer afternoons and family picnics, had simply vanished. When I explained how cold affects tomatoes, she decided to try something different. She kept them out on the counter instead, in a simple bowl, away from direct sunlight. A few days later, she called me, absolutely delighted. Her tomatoes tasted bright and full of life again. She said, "Doc, it's like I got summer back in my kitchen." The truth is simple. Tomatoes are happiest at room temperature. Keep them on the counter, let them breathe, and enjoy them at their natural best. If you have more than you can use, share a few with a neighbor, or chop and freeze them for sauces later on. It's such a small change, but it brings back the taste, the texture, and the joy of real food, the way it's meant to be. Number 6. Honey crystallizes and loses its healing power. All right, we're almost there. Let's talk about number 6, honey. Honey is truly a marvel of nature, known for its incredible natural sweetness and its impressive, almost endless shelf life. It's also cherished for its soothing and even healing properties. But here is a surprising fact that many people overlook. The refrigerator is actually one of the worst places you can store your honey. When honey is exposed to cold temperatures, something quite specific happens. It begins to crystallize rapidly, much faster than it would at room temperature. This transformation turns that beautiful, smooth liquid into something thick, gritty, and almost impossible to pour or spread. While crystallized honey isn't unsafe to eat, it is still perfectly edible. It certainly loses that smooth, easy pour texture that most of us enjoy. Trying to get a spoonful for your tea or toast becomes a struggle. And frankly, it just adds a little frustration to your morning routine. Even worse, repeated cycles of chilling and warming can actually cause honey to ferment or change in taste. making it less appealing for everything from your morning oatmeal to your favorite herbal teas. But here's the most important part, especially for us as we get older and appreciate natural remedies. The refrigerator can also cause honey to lose some of its incredible natural healing properties. Raw honey, in particular, contains powerful enzymes and antioxidants that are quite sensitive to temperature changes. Cold storage can weaken these beneficial compounds. So, that lovely honey you count on to soothe a sore throat, ease a cough, or help heal a small scrape might not be as effective after spending time in the fridge. For seniors who may rely on honey as a gentle, natural home remedy, this loss of potency can be a real letdown, a missed opportunity for nature's gentle touch. I remember my friend Harold, 82 years old, who always started his day with a spoonful of honey in his morning oatmeal. He kept his favorite jar in the fridge, thinking it would keep it pristine. But he constantly found that his honey was gritty, thick, and poured so slowly it made breakfast more of a chore than an enjoyable start to the day. He often complained, "Doc, it's just not the same. It's so hard to get out." After a little chat about the magic of honey, Harold decided to try storing his honey in a tightly sealed jar in his kitchen cabinet, just at room temperature. He couldn't believe the difference. It stayed smooth and wonderfully flavorful much longer. And he told me, with a smile, that he felt better knowing he was truly getting all the natural benefits honey had to offer, just as nature intended. It made his morning routine that much sweeter. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, for the simple, free, and easy solution to keep your honey happy. Store it in a cool, dry place at room temperature. A kitchen cabinet or pantry shelf is perfect. Just make sure the jar is tightly sealed to prevent any moisture from getting in. That way, you'll enjoy every drop of your honey. Smooth, sweet, and absolutely filled with all the wonderful healing power that makes it such a cherished favorite in kitchens everywhere. A little warmth is truly honey's best friend. Number 7. Melons become less nutritious and can spoil. All right, let's dive into the 7th and final common kitchen mistake many of us make. One that truly surprises folks because it seems so logical. Let's talk about melons. Watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew. Most of us instinctively put them straight into the fridge, thinking we're keeping them fresh and crisp. But here's the surprising truth. Refrigerating whole, uncut melons actually dulls their flavor, weakens their aroma, and even reduces their nutrients. Studies show that melons kept at room temperature hold onto more of their powerful antioxidants, like vitamin C and beta-carotene, both essential for strong immunity and healthy aging. The cold air in the fridge, on the other hand, breaks down the fruit's texture, leaving it soft, grainy, and far less flavorful. And if the melon wasn't fully ripe, chilling it too soon can even make it taste sour instead of sweet. Once you slice a melon, that's when the fridge is your friend. But until then, keeping it on the counter in a cool, dry spot is the best way to preserve its natural sweetness and vitality. I think of Richard, 80 years young, who always stored his watermelons in the fridge. Over time, he noticed they tasted bland, not like the juicy, refreshing fruit he remembered from his childhood summers. When he started keeping them on the counter instead, he was amazed. "Doc," he told me, "it's like I'm tasting watermelon for the first time again." Sometimes small changes, like where you store a melon, can bring back big joy. And that's what living well is really about. So, What's the simple solution here? It's really quite straightforward, and it doesn't cost a dime. For the best results, keep your whole melons at room temperature. Find a nice, cool spot on your kitchen counter, away from direct sunlight, and let them continue to ripen and develop their full flavor profile there. Then, and only then, once you've sliced them open and enjoyed that first, perfect bite, go ahead and refrigerate any remaining pieces. This easy approach helps preserve their exquisite flavor, their peak nutritional content, and that wonderful, firm yet juicy texture. It truly makes every bite more enjoyable and, ultimately, every meal a little healthier. You're simply allowing nature to do its job, letting the fruit reach its full potential before you cool it down. This helps preserve their flavor, nutrition, and texture, making every bite more enjoyable and every meal a little healthier. Trust me, your taste buds and your body will thank you. Enjoy your melons at their peak, just like nature intended, savoring every sweet, juicy mouthful. We've just explored 7 everyday foods and how a simple change in storage can protect your health and boost your well-being. But remember, knowledge only matters when you act on it. So, what's the one small commitment you'll make today? Maybe you'll move your potatoes out of the fridge, keep your honey in the pantry, or let your melons ripen on the counter. Share your promise in the comments. Let's inspire each other. If this video helped you, give it a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.